Greetings, traveler. I'm glad you're here. I was hoping to get an outside perspective on an initiative I'm working on to improve efficiency around here. Instead of having to deliver unique cryptic riddles to every soul who passed through the gates, entrants are presented with a randomly selected question with multiple choice answers that assign their fate. For example, one question may be, if you see a hedgehog balled up on the path in front of you, do you A, kick it out of the way? That sends you to the lake of fire where the flesh is boiled from your bones. B, step over it and continue, which sees you picked clean by demonic vultures. Or C, put on some thick gardening gloves and gently scoop him up and place him in the bushes, which directs you to be instantly mashed by the gigantic jaws of a nameless horror from beyond. I know that's not exactly a treat, but it's fairly quick, and let's face it, if you wind up here, you're not exactly a saint. Okay, you're too horrified to answer. That's okay. You let me know, traveler.
Yes, let's not forget why we're all here. It's Dead Reckoning, Season 3, Episode 8, and tonight we are joined by horror author James Lefebure. This will be the last time we book someone who's funnier than we are. It's all we've got.
Join us.
Hello.
Hey James, you alright, mate?
All right. Sorry about that. Despite having everything set up, my laptop just decided to have an absolute wobble.
Oh, don't apologise, Kirsty. Explain yourself.
I came to record last Saturday and my laptop decided that was the time to do a full update of Chrome, which took 4 hours.
Oh my God. Okay, I feel a little bit less bad now.
So for one of the hosts just cracking open their laptop after several months, 5 minutes before we record.
Do you know, that makes me feel like I'm in really good company, to be honest with you, so I'm happy with that.
This laptop, which was very lovingly gifted to me by my brother Paul, is from the past and it runs Windows 10. And so I don't use it for anything except this.
Solid as a rock.
I don't know why I would use it for anything else.
You've also missed a session because you've accidentally thrown away the charger.
I did. I found it again.
Oh, you've got two?
It was in one of when Lewis cleans. Lewis's way of cleaning is to basically just put loads of stuff in big bags for life and hide it away. And so every now and then you find it, and it's like finding Christmas presents. You're like, there's my charger, there's that T-shirt I was looking for, there's my passport, it's all here.
Sorry, James, how do I pronounce your surname?
It's Lefebure. It's a bit of a nuisance. I took it when I married my husband, thinking it's a dead posh surname, and didn't realise I'd spend the rest of my life explaining how to spell it and say it to everybody. I was Dyer before we got married, and that just seems like a distant dream now.
That's so great for a horror author as well.
Well, that's what I thought. I thought, it sounds like a right posh surname. That's a writery name. And then, L-E-F-E, no, F-E-B-U-R-E. That's all I do now.
As part of your introduction, I was putting my eldest to sleep, and I'm like, he's begging me for another chapter of this book we've been reading. I'm like, no, mate, I've got a recording tonight, and we've got a guest on, so I can't be late. Well, I could have been, Kirsty. Can't be late. God, that sound wasn't your laptop, was it, Kirsty?
Just needs to do a quick update.
I just heard the windows down. It sent a shiver through my soul. Oh. Anyway, I was probably sleeping. He wanted another chapter of the book. I said, "No, we've got a guest on. I've got to be on time." And he was like, "Who's the guest?" And I said, "Oh, he writes scary books."
Yeah,
He said, "What's his name?" I was like, "I can't think of it right now, mate." And he goes, "What if it's Jeremy Jonathan?" A horror author, he says. I was like, yeah, he's a horror author. Yeah. His name's probably more something like Epsilon Abalone.
Oh, consider that stolen. 10% of all royalties are going to your child now.
I had to admit, yeah, it probably is, mate. It probably would be.
And I genuinely think my entire personality would suit a name like Epsilon as well. I'd just be exactly what people expect me to be with a name like that.
I met James when he was doing one of the tables at the recent, well, it wasn't that recent to be honest, but it was the Liverpool horror market. Don't judge a book by its cover, but these look fucking boss.
Oh no, absolutely. Absolutely judge my books by. I paid a lot of money for them covers. Judge away.
I paid a lot of money for them covers.
Yeah, judge them.
That was my first question when I saw these books. I was like, oh, who did the covers for those? They look great.
So
who did the covers for
I
those?
have to be very honest. The guy that does my covers, I am eternally grateful to. It's artist called Uncle Frank's Productions or Elan Sheedy.
We know that.
He all I do, and I've done it since The Books of Sarah, which was my first novel. I send him either a couple of chapters if it's a full novel, or whatever the title story is for like my short story collections, and just say to him, do whatever you want, because I have no set vision, I have no set design for my own book covers. So he quite enjoys the absolute artistic freedom to do anything. And all three of my covers, I've got a new one coming out next month, so I'm due to see the new cover art. But everything that Elan does for me is a scene from the book itself, which I quite like. I think it's a nice way. There's no confusing my book as a dark fantasy or a thriller. It is very much obviously a horror book.
Yeah, no, his artwork's always amazing. Like it always pops up at the most random places. Like that whole line of like fridge magnets he did just like shows up in like every possible gift shop that you've been to, like everywhere.
And the vomit bags as well, when he did the Terrifier 2 vomit bags, and I was quite proud. I was like, oh, that's my cover artist doing that, and then vomit bags there. But his artwork, and it's so identifiable as well. I think that's the really good thing about Elan's work, is it's so you can know it's him straight away.
So you've currently got 3 books out. So the Books of Sarah, The God in the Living Room, Sense of Self, and there's a new one coming soon.
Yes, that is called Screams from the Closet and Other Short Stories. So it's another short story collection, my newest one. I'm aiming to have that out mid-April. There's a horror book convention in the Liner Hotel, organised by Indie Horror Chapter. So it's about 50 of UK and 2 or 3 from Belgium's indie horror writers all congregating on one venue to sell the books and have like a little horror book convention. So I'm aiming to try and have it released for that. That's the goal. But being independently published, I don't work very well with deadlines because I am my own boss, and I'm very, very forgiving with myself when it comes to not hitting a deadline. Like I tried. Oh well.
So that meme where it's like George R.R. Martin, it's like winter's coming on well. It's just like even one of them big Zorb balls, just like walking around the garden. It's like anything but finishing the book, George.
Do you know what? I used to be so cross with them because I loved them books. But now that I write, I'm like, do you know what, George? You take as long as you want.
I think it's because the ending of Game of Thrones was literally what he had planned for the books. And he's just like, well, if you didn't like that, I'm not going to give you the ending of the books then. Fuck you.
Yeah, I'm out of ideas. That's it.
And Bran woke up and he didn't fall out of the tower. The end.
They were all robots. That was it.
In fairness, I have read some of George R.R. Martin's science fiction. So that robots thing, not too. Yeah.
There you go. He just ties it straight into another series.
Yeah.
I remember as well. There's a clip of George R.R. Martin at some convention, And this is obviously before the TV series did the whole Hodor's like name is really from like him having an aneurysm when he was like holding the door. But like someone asked him, do you think that he really was an elevator engineer in a former life? And he's just like holding the door. And he's like, haha, you don't know how true that is. And he's just like, wink. It's like Feast of Crows, like book tour. He's like, no.
The books have been coming out for so long that he really should. I mean, I joke about how I might be like 2 weeks behind what I've said, but the first book came out, I think, in the late 70s, early 80s for the first one. I'm all for procrastination, but at some point you have just got to finish what you're doing.
Jon Snow's like on the floor after being stabbed in the books. It's like, that's why it was such a big thing in the TV series. Like,
because nobody knew what was next.
But that's exactly, I would do exactly the same thing if like someone had taken my books and put them on the TV and then everyone was like, that ending is absolute shit. I'd be like, fuck you then, you know? Why am I carrying on with it then?
Yeah, I'd like to pretend that that's how I'd be, but I'd just be too busy being like, my stuff is on TV and I'm getting paid for my stuff to be on TV. Think what you want, internet.
That's what I mean. I'm not, well, I can either spend my day just like pottering around doing what I want, or I can write the book you all hate.
Yeah. Just for that.
Yeah. It'd be like that meme where like someone's wiping tears for like a load of money.
Yeah, that I'd be like, I'm so petty. I'd be like, oh, you hate this one character? Guess what? Next book, all about them. All about them.
That's how you end up in a misery situation.
Yeah. When I very first released Books of Sarah, I do something kind of terrible with a bowl of tomato soup. My editor hated it, absolutely hated the whole scene. Red penned the whole thing with just a note that said absolutely not.
Sold.
My husband, who dabbles in horror, he read, because, you know, he's my husband, he has to be as supportive as humanly possible. He read the first copy because it was my first book. I think he wanted to make sure that I could write and I wasn't going to bring shame on his family name. He got to the soup bit and we were lying in bed and he literally turned to me and he was like, can I just ask you something? I was like, yeah, babe, what's up? And he's like, are you okay? Like, is everything all right with you? And I was like, yeah, why? And he was like, I've got to the bit with the soup. And I was like, oh, yeah. And he was like, James, why are you smiling when I'm talking about this bit with the soup? I'm traumatized. And when the book got released, I've received that many messages from people that are very angry with me that I've been able to make 3 separate TikToks with people shouting at me. I'm a really unknown writer, but people still found the time to call me a monster. All because I dared to mess with tomato soup. So I feel like me and George R.R. Martin are both capable of taking a bit of stick off the internet, to be honest.
That's when you know you've made it, right?
Yeah, when Heinz have sent me a cease and desist letter.
You get a letter from Campbell's that just says no.
Yeah. I'm so petty though. I got a 3D bowl of soup printed and a tin of tomato soup. And anytime I go to a convention, I just put them on the table next to the book. And you can see people like that have read the book walking past the table like, you are horrifying. What is wrong with you?
I like to think that like at every point where someone's been like reading it like in front of you, they just like every time that happens they just put it down and just like look at you like when they're reading it, like, aha, you got to that bit, have you?
I used to sell my books through Etsy, and whenever I did, I would always put like a sachet of dried tomato soup in the envelope and say to people, please make at the start of chapter 4 for an interactive reading experience. And somebody really, really did not like that. One of my favorite ones on my TikTok was them messaging me, calling me fit to burn. I was like, yeah, I will take that.
Yeah. That would make me sad because if I ordered that book in Australia, they'd immediately destroy it with microwaves because it's got a packet of food in there.
Oh my God, of course. Yeah, I mean, I'm not international. I don't know if you're expecting an international guest for the podcast, but I'm very much quite happy with my small Liverpool audience, to be fair. I did initially shop Books of Sarah around when I first wrote it, and I'd had it edited, and I'm assuming, I know for a fact that one publishing house did turn it down because of the soup scene. They said that they felt it's
non-negotiable.
Do you know what? It sounds so stupid, but it really was like a non-negotiable moment in the story. It's horrifying, don't get me wrong, and even I was a bit like, am I okay? Like, am I clearly working through something here? Why am I so determined to keep this scene in? But within the context of the story, because I know you guys haven't had a chance to read it, it's a pretty brutal, it's a brutally dark story that deals with some really hard real life horrors. And I needed something that would kind of cut through everything, that would be the thing that would push the main character to make a big decision. And I had to go very extreme with it. And I'm not, I think if anyone ever meets me, I am camp as Christmas and I'm dead laughy jokey. So whenever people read something like that and they've met me first at a stall, it's a bit of a like, oh my God, that camp fat man wrote this. But I stand by it. And even when one of the publishing houses said, take this out, we can relook at the book, I was a bit like, no, because I really do stand by my horrible, horrible, mean bit of soup. And it's ironically, it's the one thing that the book is actually known for now. So I think there is a certain level of standing by your own disgusting thoughts at times.
Which book is it that you're talking
about? That was for the Books of Sarah. Yeah, that was my first one, and I think that's the one that I still get the most people talking about and like the most feedback and the most reviews for. But Sense of Self still relatively quite new, and I don't do anything with soup in Sense of Self. I made sure to leave.
It's not a running theme or anything.
It's not going to be. I don't want to be known as like the soup guy. That's not going to be what follows me around. My husband refused to read it though after the Books of Sarah. He read one. He was like, "Well, yeah, that'll do. I'm going to go back to reading me little fantasy books. Thank you very much." And that was the end of that.
You should have put like a joke chapter in that's just like all like horrible soup stuff.
Yeah, put a soup recipe at the back of the book. I can do like a cooking with James book. That can be my next novel. It'll just be me and a load of recipes.
What got you into writing horror books in the first place? Becoming the horror author would be a better way to put it.
Yeah, I'm 42, so I'm very much the 80s VHS horror era, and I was a very nerdy kid. So my mum was never bothered by what I was reading, more just, oh, look, he's reading and he's being quiet. That was enough for her. So like I remember reading Flowers in the Attic when I was about 12 years old, which no 12-year-old should read Flowers in the Attic.
Yeah, that's a heavy book, that, for a kid.
It's a heavy one. And that was followed by a lot of Stephen King, Carrie, and then I followed that up with, I think it was The Running Man. That was the Bachman books that he'd released. And from that really quite young an age, I liked horror. I watched horror films and I was reading horror books. So when I decided that I wanted to start writing, it was actually during COVID. I worked for the NHS and I couldn't see anybody after work other than my husband, but he was working on COVID wards themselves. Because he's a nurse, he was real frontline staff. So he was doing night. So I was ward clerking in the day. We'd come home with each other for half an hour and then off he'd toddle off to do his night shift. So I had a lot of free time on my hands and I just sat down and started writing to one of those, oh, well, I've got the time now, because that was always my excuse. I thought I'd give it a go, and Books of Sarah was the end result, to be honest. That was the start of it. And then from then, I'm not somebody that churns out books quite often. It takes me about a year to 2 years to write and edit and release a book. I'm sure if I was stricter with myself, I could write more, but I like that I take a bit of time with each book that I've written rather than having 20 different books that are quite short. I'd rather have ones that I've spent a lot of time researching and taking the time to work on.
As a horror author, how stupid do you think it is for someone to read a book on writing by a writer and then decide off the cuff to write a book themselves with no previous experience?
I think everybody should try and write a book. I genuinely do. Writing is... Everybody can write. Absolutely. I genuinely believe that absolutely anybody can write. The spelling and the editing side of things are completely secondary to the story that you want to write. The problem comes in, and I do this with every draft. I've convinced myself that I'm going to write a first draft that is so phenomenal Stephen King himself will weep. And then I read the first draft and I'm like, this is a load of rubbish. And that's when the hard work actually starts in. So I think anybody, I did the obligatory, I'm going to be a horror writer. I'm going to read On Writing by Stephen King and I will have his career. And it was a great book, but it's still down to the person writing it. It depends on how much work you want to put in. It's with anything else. You can write your book. Anyone can write. No one's going to read it unless you promote it, or no one's going to read it if you haven't took the time to actually edit the book itself. That's where the hard work comes in. Natural writing it, the story part, it's just you telling yourself the story for the first draft. It's drafts 10 to 12 that come after where you're absolutely sick of the sight of the characters that you've created. That's when you really realize how many commas you're willing to put into a sentence just to break it up and make it sound a bit different.
So, Kirsty, hearing that from a professional, where do you think your project fell flat?
Number one, Paul, get to foot. And number two, I love that you're very, very confident. With no previous experience. I am an award-winning playwright, I will have you know. I just think that maybe my
we should have you on as a guest.
I think my place is the stage and not the book for writing. Because my scripts are better than... I'm too visual and I get bored with describing stuff.
And Kirsty, you've won an award. I've won nothing except TikTok rage. So I think you're winning in the writing stakes here between the two of us.
Even on this podcast, I am the most decorated writer.
I will absolutely concede to that. Yeah, you have an award. I just have people going, he's disgusting. Don't have soup in his. That's all I'm known for. You have like a trophy.
I actually got an email from my play
self
publisher.
That says start writing book.
No, from my
2022.
publishing house. I got an email recently from my publisher saying, we've finally sold a copy of your play. Now can we have some bank details? And it's like, I was like, wow, that's so great. And they were like, yeah, we finally sold one after 10 years. I was like, well, I look forward to receiving the royalty check into my bank.
Look, I don't want to ruin
very, very excited
Lewis's birthday present to you this year, but guess what?
Kirsty's publisher going to find the manuscript like...
You will all be laughing on the other side of your faces when I receive my royalties. My other book, actually, the one I wrote about True Blood in this book, this collection.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I got paid £300 to write that chapter, and they've still not sold enough to pay me royalties on it. So I win, I think. In that,
yeah, you're absolutely winning there.
They've still not. They're like every 6 months they send me an email going, we still haven't sold enough books to give you any royalties. And I'm like, well, I win then because you paid me $300 up front. I've got a copy of the
net
book.
Gain.
I win, and I'll happily write for you again.
Yeah, anytime you want to give me money for words, sign me up.
I was going to ask actually because no, go on. I've got a question. You can chill now after you've insulted me. I want to. Paul, the writers are going to speak to each other. I'm writing a musical at the moment, which I've been working on, and I started it in COVID because I genuinely have not got any excuse anymore to do. I started it researching it just before COVID, and then I was like, right, it's COVID now. I've got to do it, and I still didn't because it was like I just found it. I was working from home during COVID, and then I hated my house. I
think I was lucky. I left the house to go to the ward and then come back and I'd be like, oh my God, hello house. So I get you'd be sick of the house if you were working from home.
I was literally I'm a teacher and I was literally on a laptop trying to teach all day in my house. And then I was allowed, you're allowed one walk. And I would be like, I'd get home and go, I'm not doing anything else on this laptop. I just want to sling it through the window. But I was talking to someone recently who was the guitarist in Chumbawamba. You know that band?
Oh yeah,
yeah. He's a writer. He's a playwright and a writer. And I was chatting with him about like how do you get it done?
Sometimes you get knocked down, but then you get back up again.
So he said he goes off to his caravan in Keswick for 3 days, and he'll just he doesn't give himself lunch breaks or anything. He just goes, I'll write until I'm really hungry, then I'll eat, then I'll keep writing until I'm hungry again, then I'll eat. And then when it's about to go dark and he can see it's about to go dark, he'll go out for a walk and then he won't write the rest of the evening. Do you have when you're writing something, do you do it bit by bit every couple of days, or do you have I need to get away? Because I went to the Isle of Man to research my play. And it was great, and I got so much done. And I spent 3 nights there in the place where my play's about a writer who was from the Isle of Man. And I got everything done, and it was great. But then when I came back, it was like I can't recreate that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I all my stuff set in Liverpool, so I've kind of done myself out of having to leave the city. Annoyingly, it's just me sitting in town. But I'd love to say, because I've got a friend who's a really good writer and he is forever releasing books. And he really is dedicated. Like he gets up at 4 a.m. and he does 2 hours before he even goes to work. I am not that organized or dedicated. I will spend 3-4 weekends writing in a month, feel like I'm really hard done to, maybe go one day after work and then put my laptop down for about a month and claim that I've got writing block when really it's just me being lazy. I am very much an opportunistic writer until I've forced I'll do an announcement on my writer's page on Facebook of like, oh, the book's coming out then. And then I panic because that's when I have to actually start editing and getting it all done. It'll take me, especially my first draft for anything, it genuinely takes me months and months to write it. And then when I get into the editing side of things, that's when I really find that I'm a lot more like, oh no, I'll dedicate 2 nights a week after work and 1 weekend day so I can still try and live my life around what I'm doing. But I'm not one of these dedicated people at all. I wish I was. I wish it was a skill that I possessed, but I am 90% procrastination at any given point.
That's really nice to hear because I'm exactly the same.
Yeah.
I feel a bit better.
I can't even pretend that I'm like, oh yeah, no, I'm so dedicated. I could tell you I get up at 3 a.m. and do 4 hours. Right? I don't at all. Even when I am sitting writing, I have to force myself to put my phone in my bag on the other side of like the table so that I don't just spend 20 minutes playing on Facebook and taking photos to make it look like I'm writing on Instagram. Like it's really, I have to if you see me posting on Instagram that I'm doing writing, the last thing I'm doing is writing. I'm playing on Instagram. It's when I'm not posting it that I'm actually writing.
Like you get up that early and all you're writing is just the letter Z. Just like,
yeah. Well, when I did the same with the God in the Living Room short story collection because and you know what? Even looking back, I'm mortally embarrassed because it's only 100 pages, so it's not even like a big book. It's 5 tiny short stories, And I announced it because I had the cover, and I was like, "Oh, it's going to be released by this date. Pre-orders available." And then about 2 weeks before, I was like, "I still haven't finished editing this book. I really do need to actually get this done, I suppose." And then for about a week, I did have to get myself up at about 4 a.m. because I was like, "I have got to get this book done." And even then, when I did first release it, the first batch, I uploaded the wrong copy, and it wasn't until I'd ordered a load of author copies and I'd sold some already that I realised, no, there's still spelling mistakes. I'd actually uploaded the wrong copy of the manuscript onto Amazon. So the first, I think, 10 copies that got sold were just full of utter typos. I'm not a routine type person. I find for me, it just doesn't work, like trying to bully myself into it. I've got to just go, oh yeah, I'm feeling like I can write now. When it comes to editing, it's a bit different because that is just me looking at my own spelling mistakes. But when it's actually writing the story, I feel like I need to take it bit by bit and think about what's going to happen next. And that's just my process though.
Yeah, I remember when I sent so I sent something to a publisher. This was ages ago. Sent something to a publisher. It's supposed to be young adult, which I don't know. I just said, yeah, I can write young adult. So she said, can you send me 3 chapters? And I said, this was like a fantasy horror. And I sent her 3, and I forced myself over the space of 2 weeks to hash out these 3 chapters. And I worked really hard and I was really dedicated to it. And I was like, in the morning, I was writing for 3 hours, break 3 hours every single day. And I sent it to her and she was like, do you know what? I really like it. Can you redo it, but make the other chapters more like chapter 1 in the tone? And I was just like, no. I was exhausted by that point, and I just wanted her to say like, and if she'd have said, actually, I love it, we're going to publish it, like, great, here's your advance, I might have just said, nah, I'm all right, actually.
Yeah, no, I'm all right.
Because I was so tired, and I hated the idea of actually finishing it. And yeah.
I was like that when God in the Living Room finally got released. I was like, oh my God, thank God that's over. I can just sleep in now. There was no celebration for me that I'd released an anthology. I was like, no, I just want to go back to bed and stay in bed till 8 o'clock in the morning. No, thank you very much.
And the question I bet everyone asks all the time is like, when's your new book coming out? And you want to say, fuck off. That's when. Yeah. Leave me alone.
Eventually.
Let me live.
Yeah, let me live. I think that's the hard thing as well, because it is, and this is where I think like I'm obviously part of the indie horror community, and the UK has got an absolutely brilliant indie horror author community. We're everywhere. But you see people, and it's only because I'm jealous, but they can release like a book every 2-3 months because they do the hard work. They'll have these routines, and there's me turning up to conventions with my 3 books and my short story collection. Like, I'm eventually going to do another one. It's just going to take me a while.
They like got giant pin boards with like the plot and everything, and like giant like mood boards of like, this is what this character is. It's like, what the fuck? We're supposed to do that?
Some of these people write they'll write 2 or 3 things on the go at the once. I struggle with one story, let alone jumping between 2 or 3. I just need plenty of time and nobody asking me. Like when you're releasing anything else, that just instantly, because I can talk to you about it. I can talk about what my thoughts are. It's the actual writing of the books that is the hard part.
Sounds like you need a Keswick caravan.
Yeah, I need that Chumbawamba money. That's what it is.
That's why I thought he was half going to offer me use of the caravan, but he did not.
I'm like, oh, look at you showing off with your caravan.
I haven't even got a shed.
I'm just going to go to my day job now and go and work for 18 hours for somebody else. Okay.
Well, literally, as I'd been complaining to everybody, like, this is the reason I can't write, is because I don't have the time.
Yeah.
I was asked to go and like spend a full day next week in work at the Liverpool Central Library, and I don't have to do anything because I just have to babysit some students who are sort of basing themselves there, and then they're going out to take pictures. And it was like, so all you have to do is just go to the library and just sit there from 9 till 3. And I was like, fuck, like, oh no, I've got the opportunity and the wherewithal and all of the resources. Now I'm going to have to do it.
Forced to, that's it for a writer. I really don't enjoy the writing process very much.
Yeah. I was like,
it's my least favorite part of writing is the words I have to put on the paper.
Yeah, I loved the launch party for my first book. I loved it. It was great. It was just getting drunk, people going, "Oh, well done," and me going, "Yes, here's the book." That was
I enjoyed the lunch party for my first book, except my best friend, who I think low-key hates me, is physically incapable of taking a good photo of anybody that isn't himself. So every single photo of me on what is a very proud day for me looks like I'm about to eat somebody or I'm about to start crying. He just shows the worst angles. Like, I'm a fat man. You don't take a photo of a fat man side on. And loads of these photos are me smiling, took from the side. I was like, why do you hate me so much?
It's like that bit where Alfred Hitchcock just like walks into his own silhouette.
Yeah, except it's your best friend taking the photos and not following the friend code of making you look great.
Would you so I've seen there's a bit of a trend maybe at the moment for like horror plays, because 222 is like doing a lot of it's gone on tour, and it's like that's a horror play. Would you ever have any of your stuff adapted for stage?
I think you could genuinely with the books of Sarah. I think because one thing I love as a writer, and it's something that does kind of pop up a lot in my writing. This sounds like a lot more of a serious writery moment. Is I love the idea of single location horror. You know, where you can't really escape, or you're just the horror is this one place. So Books of Sarah, half the book takes place in an identical series of rooms. Sort of, it was quite inspired by, the film Cube. I don't know if anyone that idea of every room that they went into was the exact same as the one they just left. So that would be, from a staging point of view, that would be quite easy. And 90% of the Sarah storyline in the Books of Sarah takes place in her kitchen. Because it's just her writing in her diary, talking about how awful her life is. So I think that one could genuinely be adapted. I don't think anybody would want to see it because it is quite grim. But I think that would be something that would potentially lend itself to a play. But I mean, they've just turned Lost Boys into a musical, so maybe I'd want to have a full-blown musical of the Books of Sarah and a whole musical number while they're cooking the soup parts, like have a bit Beauty and the Beast-esque moment there with Be Our Guest.
I'm happy to get involved with that.
Let's do this. Let's meet up after this, and we'll turn my horrible book into a full-blown musical.
I really enjoyed when you said that your husband, he's got to be supportive.
He's got no choice.
but my partner, when
as supportive as humanly possible, I believe it was.
Yeah.
My partner, when I told him I was getting back into finishing this musical, he was like, well, first of all, when he comes to see me in musicals and I say, yeah, you've got to come to this, you've got to come and see me in this. And he's like, oh, for fuck's sake, do I really have to come? And I'm like, yes, you do.
Yeah.
Here's the ticket. I've paid for it. You will be there. And he's like, oh, fine.
and you will tell me I was the best in the play afterwards.
Literally, that's the first thing. Was I the best? And he goes, yes.
And then hand me these flowers.
But then the other day, I bought my own flowers. They're there for you to hand to me. And the other day I was like, I'm gonna get back into this and I'm really gonna do it this time. And he was like, you know what? Writing a musical is the easiest thing in the world. And I was like, what? He's like, it's just so easy. It's so easy. I was like, you didn't what? I was really flabbergasted.
Oh, please tell me Lewis has written a musical. Please.
He's told me. He's like, I'll help you write it. It's going to be so easy to write. And I'm just like, I've been working on this for nearly 7 years. I'm not done.
I mean, it would be kind of funny if he did just come in at the very end and just sort everything out for you, and you'd be like, oh my God.
I 100% that. Yeah. And then it'll be like the
Shine.
Lewis. I'm now thinking, because he's got quite a good surname, isn't it? His surname's Grivosti. And it's
that's definitely a writer's surname,
right?
That.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm like, yeah, I'll have the name and you can do all the work. And then I go to the party, and because he would hate going to a party and being like lauded by it. He'd hate the attention. So I could just get the attention. and not do any of the work. I'm definitely coming around to this idea actually now.
Terry's entire contribution to all my writing is he demands that I put the phrase "drop rock death" in everything that I write, because that is how he would solve any of the problems that the characters have to deal with. So at every point in my books, I have to insert the phrase somehow and make it sound like it flows with the story. Drop rock death. Otherwise, he gets really a bit like, well, what's the point of being married to a writer if I can't get the stories I want? Although, to be fair, the story he wants is me to write like an orphan with a destiny with dragons and magic. That is his absolute dream novel. And here's me writing about crab monsters and soup bowls and everything else that's horrible. And he's just like, please, just write me a nice, happy story.
I'm interested in both, just FYI.
Yeah.
From the outside looking in. I would love to see a musical written by Lewis. That's just the best thing I've ever heard in my life.
It was just the complete confidence with which he was like, the thing that you struggled with for such a long time is very easy.
By the way, yeah. Bass player enters stage left. You're right there, lad. Pay your tick.
Those would probably be the last words my husband would ever say to me, to be honest with you, because I'd be like, do you know what, babe? I'm going to murder you now. And I can still sell books from prison. So, I'll do it for the headlines and the press, okay?
That's like a complete life hack there. It's like, you can still write books from prison. It's like, you got nothing on me.
Yeah. All I need is a Word document and an internet connection, you know.
They're not taking me pens.
Yeah.
What's your dream end game with your writing? Would you want I remember there was a podcast Lore, and it got turned into a TV series, which I admittedly still haven't seen, by an X-Files producer, something like that. Would you want like a TV series of your short stories or a movie or something like that?
I mean, I'd be absolutely stupid to say, no, I don't want all that money, thanks. And people looking at my work, I'd hate it. No, it would be, I think I'd love some of my stuff, because I mean, I'll be honest, some of my short stories are better than the other short stories, but I think I prefer a novel. Even when I'm reading, I prefer give me 300 pages of one story rather than loads of little short stories. So I would love something to happen with one of my novels, like either Sense of Self or Books of Sarah, to be turned into like a 3 or 4 part BBC or Netflix drama. The problem is I am that really annoying friend that's read the book, and I would be like, what do you mean? No, I need 50 episodes and I need absolutely everything to be as it was in the book. That is my approach to anything. When they're like, it's based on a book, nobody will take me to cinema to see that film if I've read the book. But again, because my stuff's Liverpool based, there is that element of, I could imagine this actor playing this character. I'd rather a TV show than a film, I think, because obviously films you have got to shrink stuff down to accommodate it, and that's where even as a reader I struggle with any kind of minor change from the source material.
I'd imagine there's more there'd be more people involved in like creative decisions with a movie than there would be with a TV show.
Yeah, I imagine there will be. I'm sure that it people just it takes a whole lot of people to turn it in, but it's not anything I've overtly thought of. I think because I am quite an unknown indie writer, you don't want to kind of like let yourself daydream of it. But the likes of Alan Shivers, who is this brilliant, I think he's based in Belgium at the moment, indie horror writer. He's written the Namaste series, which is a 4-part slasher book series, and he's just it's took him a year and a half, but he's just got it picked up for a film. They're going to turn his first book into a film. You know, when you're like, that is kind of the dream. It would be, I think anyone would want any of their stuff to be picked up and turned into something a bit more. So it does happen. It is really nice when it's someone that you're friendly with. I think you've got to, it's just a luck of the draw kind of thing, or how far you're willing to push it. And as I think I've made quite clear, I'm very lazy when it comes to my writing career. So unless I trip over Mr. Netflix himself, I can't see my stuff getting picked up. Do you think Mr. Netflix want to make my book? No, all right then, no worries. That'd be how the whole exchange would go with me.
When you first meet him in Netflix, like, so about this bowl of soup?
Yeah, I'm not cutting it. Do you know what? Watch how fast I would cut that bowl of soup if it got me Netflix money. I'd be like, do what you want. Do what you want. Make them all robots in the end. Don't care. It gives the cash. I'm going to go and buy a caravan.
We all tune in and it's Epson Aballone's like, Tales of Dyer or something. Like, hey, wait a minute.
I think that's it now. With there's so much streaming, and obviously they are mining, but there's a lot more books that are getting picked up and turned into films and TV shows now. So there is absolutely the market for it. The problem is with horror. Horror fans I love horror, and I am one of these fans, but they're so hard to please because horror's got so many subgenres to it that for everyone that would love what I'm bringing, there'll be 20 people that go, God, I'm not even scary. Like, and that is the thing with horror now, isn't it? For the internet has given everybody that much of a voice that I think I've seen some amazing, what I think are amazing films, and you go online and you're like, oh, apparently what I've just watched is trash.
It turns out I was wrong.
Yeah, it turns out I was wrong. How dare I enjoy this? And that is it. I think horror is such it's a very vocal community, which is one thing I love because I am a vocal person. But I think anytime anybody does anything related to horror, the bar is quite different. With comedy, it's like, oh, did it make you laugh? Yeah, well then it works as a comedy. Does a horror have to scare you to be a horror? So I don't necessarily think it always does, but that's the beauty of the horror genre as a whole. Like I like the ones that make you feel uncomfortable or leave you really thinking about it afterwards. Don't necessarily have to be a super scary film for me to think of it as horror, as long as it does that. Like it leaves a bit of an impression on you.
For someone who watches an unbelievable amount of horror, I've now started to realize that posts on, Rotten Tomatoes or Reddit or wherever about movies that say things, for example, it'll say like, oh, this movie's a slow burn.
Yeah.
I interpret that the same way as someone who was like, it's subtitles. If I wanted to read, I'd get a book. And I'm like, you wouldn't though, would you?
No. I hate that.
So I think it's like if it doesn't like scare someone literally out of their skin and make them jump off the couch, then it's not a valid horror movie, and it's trash.
Exactly. What a bizarre attitude to take, because there's so few films nowadays that will scare you out of your skin, but there's plenty that will leave you feeling really uncomfortable at the end of it all.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's why I always giggle. One of my all-time favorite horror films is The Mist. Because of the ending, that is my ideal. That's kind of the vibe that I go for when I'm ending stuff. Is you're not getting a happy ending with me. And I've seen people rag on it because it doesn't have a happy enough ending for viewers. I've seen people say like, oh, it's too depressing. I'm like, you're watching a horror. It's not meant to have.
Yeah,
a necessary horror doesn't need to have a happy ending to it.
It's the whole point of the genre.
Like
exactly. Like, what are you expecting?
When Stephen King saw that adaptation of The Mist, like he was like, "Yeah, that ending's so much better than what I did." What I wrote, I was like, he puts down like his thing. He's like, "Whoa, that's kind of fucked up, guys."
I wonder, if he was like, "This bitch has just stole my gig," like.
It's also like...
Yeah, we read the book. Very good.
It's also like Thomas Jane, like everything he's in is like someone has to be put into like an awful amount of like really bad like emotional trauma.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a Thomas Jane film. Let's see how much pain we can put him through.
He is brilliant. It is such. I know Mike Flanagan's redoing The Mist, and I absolutely love Mike Flanagan. Love everything he does, but it's the only time that and Carrie, because both times I was a bit like, well, do we need another Carrie? And we definitely don't need any kind of retelling of The Mist. I'm still reeling from the TV show that they tried to do, so I don't think you could ever improve on what The Mist was bringing for the story that it was trying to tell, even if you are Mike Flanagan.
Mike Flanagan famously featured on our very first episode when I just watched Midnight Mass. And I was like, it's like vampires. Like, why are they turning everyone into vampires?
Yeah, the logistics of that film upset you, didn't it?
The episode title was "That's Not How Vampires Work."
Yeah, I did love Midnight Mass, though. It was very slow. That's the only thing that I can understand why people might have got turned off, was how slow. But the payoff was completely worth it.
Like a senile priest, and like he's like, oh, it's an angel. It's like, that is clearly not an angel, mate.
Have you read the book you talk about every week?
It's like, this motherfucker's brought back Nosferatu from Jerusalem. It's like, everybody run.
Look at the angel.
Can I see the prescription for those glasses you're wearing?
Also, like, what was the one, his version of Fall of the House of Usher? And he's just like, at the beginning, he's just like, yeah, well, you'll be successful and rich, but all of your kids will die one day. And he's like there with his sister. He's like, I mean, you can't be thinking of that. He's like, hey, I don't even have any of these kids.
Yeah.
Some of them aren't even born
yet. To be them kids.
He said we will die pretty much straight away afterwards, so there's not going to be much grieving. It's like, he's thinking about this logic. When they are alive, they'll have a pretty good time. I mean, I'll be rich.
Yeah. How rich are we talking? That'd be like, how rich? Rich enough to afford therapy afterwards? Rich, or?
He's like, have you ever heard of Scrooge McDuck?
Or it's like, is it going to be quick, or will they suffer? Like, well, for example, one of them gets knocked out of a window by a cat. All right, fine. Yeah,
fine.
Where do I sign?
It's the one with the acid in the tank in the nightclub, and everyone's just like...
That was gruesome, though.
And isn't that like the first or one of the earliest ones for a very good reason?
Yeah.
The rest of them don't live up to it. There's a sort of chimp one. Yeah,
the chimp one felt a bit out of place, I think. Like, I vaguely remember it.
Shoved in there? Yeah.
Yeah. They were like, look what we can do with the special effects. And that was the only one that I remember, because the acid one was great, but the chimp one I remember thinking, oh.
You're going to like cut the kid from E.T. in half with a pendulum. It's like, fuck.
I remember Mark Hamill walking in there to like be the detective. I was like, oh, I got him to... Oh, no, it's Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
Should we ask James the ultimate question? Are we at that stage?
Yeah, definitely. Did you find it? Did you find the book?
It's funny. It has a way of finding me.
Oh, God.
I know. I've tried to burn it 3 times. It's still here. This may help you slightly on your journey. This is a book that was purchased as a gift and sent to me. It's a horror book by Sophia Rivers.
Yeah.
It's Would You Rather?
Oh, I love a Would You Rather. Okay.
Yeah. It's kind of a Poundland Would You Rather. Just keep that in mind.
Okay.
If you're confused by the question, it's completely normal. It's very poorly written.
Yeah, the word book is stretching it a little bit. It is made of paper and there are words in it.
That's like everything I sell on Amazon. Don't worry. I feel like I'm in good company there.
The back has a word search and like a maze.
James, would you rather unearth... I've picked a writing one for you.
Oh, okay.
Unearth Mary Shelley's unpublished horror manuscript with a curse that whoever reads it experiences the terrors described within. Or discover her personal diary containing dark secrets and eerie confessions that make you question your sanity.
Oh, without even hesitating, I will go for the first because somebody else has done the writing for me. And I will just slap my name on it. Yeah, I am. Do you know what? That very much sounds like a reader's problem, not a writer's problem. So, option 1, please. Not even hesitating there. No. If I read the diary, it'll take me about 5 years of procrastinating to turn that into a book. You're telling me I've got a Mary Shelley book that I'll be like, no, slip my name on that. I'll edit it. There you go.
I will await these unspeakable horrors.
I will wait for the reviews to start rolling in now.
Like the second one's like, hey, do you want to know some of the mysteries about Francis Bacon? It's like, no, I want some money.
No. Yeah. Money and a curse, thank you.
It's a story about ancient Egypt. Wait, it's called Frankenstein 2, The Bride of Frankenstein. Yeah. Damn it! Okay.
You mean there was a sequel?
So in this one, Frankenstein meets a man from Transylvania who happens to be a vampire.
Yeah. And they form the Avengers. That's how it would go for me.
Maybe that's the curse, that it's just a really awful book.
It's a life story of the 7 men that made up Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah, but really just depressingly boring
Was also
for
a peasant.
all of them.
Thingy did that, didn't he? Kenneth Branagh did that in his version of Frankenstein. Like, you see, the person who, you see, Robert De Niro. You see Robert De Niro as a living person in it, and he goes, "You can't be doing this. You're defiling nature, you murderer." And he stabs John Cleese. John Cleese is in it, and he gets stabbed. But then his body gets donated to science, and he ends up as Frankenstein.
It is a terrible adaptation, the Mary Shelley one.
John Cleese Frankenstein.
John Cleese is the teacher. He's Frankenstein's teacher in Vienna or something.
I'm thinking of that Faulty Towers episode where he gets a knock on the head and then starts goose stepping with a bandage on his head. Oh, anyway. Hey, this Would You Rather is obviously quite special, despite the way it's written, because it gets its own page. And underneath, there's a fear fact.
Oh.
Don't bother asking you. I'm going to read it. The author of Frankenstein, Mary Shelley, thank you, kept the macabre keepsake of her dead husband's heart, and she carried it with her for almost 30 years. No one knew she had it until it was found in her desk drawer, wrapped in a copy of one of his final poems.
She kept it in a drawer.
Yeah, no one knew she had it.
How cross was she with her dead husband?
Found it in a drawer.
They're they're putting the funeral together. Should we put on some music or something? I don't know. What was their favorite music? Look in the desk for some CDs or something.
Yeah. I'd be opening this is why nobody likes you, Mary, because you were weird.
You're weird.
You and your fucking spooky stories, love. Told you she was odd. That'd be it.
This is just the word homunculus written down 57 times. A heart in a drawer. That's a book title itself.
I'm going to tell my husband that later. I'm going to get off this and be like, you know what they said I should do? Keep your heart in a drawer. Good enough for me, Shelley, babes. Good enough for me.
That sounds like my house when I'm trying to clear out, get some more storage space. Why is there a heart in a drawer?
Yeah. Which husband was this?
Where this came from?
It must have been dried out or something like that. How'd you wrap it in a poem?
It's going to look like something you give to a dog.
Yeah. Maybe she's just walking with a shopping trolley, one of them little trolleys, old ladies are have you seen me heart?
That's what I'd be trying to see something cool. Well, that's my husband's heart. Be how I open conversations. What is it? 2 truths and a lie.
An icebreaker at a corporate retreat.
Who's for soup?
But also, I believe you've been nominated for. There's like 3 awards, isn't there? Where it's like you have to vote or.
Yes, it's Slashik Press, which is a LGBT horror press in. I think they're Australian based. I think David Jack Fletcher is based in Australia. It's the first one of their kind that they've done the outright press awards that they're doing, and it is just to recognise horror within the LGBT plus community. And my little crab based horror is on there. Sense of Self. It's up for best novel, best gay representation, and best cosmic horror, which I'm really quite proud of. Sense of Self's like one of my favourite things that I've ever written. It's about a crab based cult in Crosby. It felt like it would be the right place to base a crab cult. Just a nice excuse to go and sit in Crosby and write, to be honest. That was the furthest I did in terms of research. But the feedback to that when it first got released was quite nice, because it was very tonally different to anything else that I had written. It was a bit more of a slow burn. So it was all about the final third of the book for me. Everything else was building up this really sad, lonely, sort of almost pathetic main character called Caleb, and exploring how far he was willing to go to feel like he belonged somewhere. It was just unfortunate the people that wanted him to belong with them was a cult that worshipped a centuries-old crab deity in Crosby Beach. But there is some absolutely phenomenal, because I read quite a lot of LGBT horror, mainly so I know what the competition's up to be honest. But it's a really, really powerful genre. I think it's something that I love, because as a gay person, it's nice to see yourself in horror and see how it sort of be different to your standard sort of more mainstream horrors. It's different fears and different phobias, and it plays on it on like stuff that I can relate to. So it was real honor to be nominated for the award. To be honest, I'm just going to be absolutely unbearable if I do win. That's the only problem. I'm going to demand that my husband gets me like a crown and a little scepter for me to run around the house. I literally introduce myself as, "Hi, I'm James Lefebure, award-winning horror writer. Thank you very much." And I'm going to have to come back on here so that we're equally matched in terms of award-winning writers. I'll just message him and be like, "I've got one now. Competition's on."
James, did we order 200 square meters of red carpet? The guys here?
That's what I'll be. I'm like, he's supposed to walk on the pavements. I'm an award-winning writer.
You'll be like, they'll send you a plaque, and you'll have like a dinner party just so you can like pull a string from like unveiling some curtains.
Yeah, I won't write anything ever again, because I'm like, well, this one's won an award. That's clearly the best I'm ever doing.
It's like bring them copies back from the publisher. Stick the stickers on. Yeah. But yeah, really appreciate you coming on, James.
It's been lovely. I haven't laughed so much in absolutely ages, to be honest.
Oh yeah,
it's funny. Every time you have a guest on, at the end they always say, "Oh, this is nothing like I thought it would be." What they want to say is like, "I was expecting like a professional clean cut podcast, and this was just a bunch of idiots in a pub."
I feel like I'm walking away from this podcast with some new, really well defined career goals. Of I need a Chumbawamba caravan. I need to get an award so that me and Kirsty are on equal footing, and I need to return just to show it off. So that's my 2026 career goals, to be honest.
I think Chumbawamba Caravan is a great episode title as well.
It really is. Yeah. It's what we're all aspiring for now. I'm never going to be content in life until I have that caravan.
They must make a bit of money off that after that song. Like that's on like everybody's 90s playlist.
Yeah, it's just ingrained in everyone's brain. As soon as you said it, I was trying to think of it, knocked down joke, but you just beat me to it.
I think he basically does live off that. Just that. I mean, if you listen to that one album, which most people don't either, that album that single was on, like the rest of it is ridiculously political and like far left wing, and there's just that one song on it, and I feel like there was a whole set of people who bought that album going, these are going to be fun drinking songs, and it's like talking
the
about
polar opposite of it,
Stalin and like, and like the miners' strike and like
seize the means of production.
all these teenagers in 1994 going like, I've just learned about the Peterloo massacre and I don't think I'm going to be the same again.
Like a load of accidental radicalization, all because of the top 10. What started your political career? Chumbawamba.
I think genuinely at the time they were like, when people were interviewing him, like Smash Hits magazine were like, we've got to interview you now because you've got this massive single, and they're like, please don't buy the rest of the album, just buy the single. Yeah. Don't buy the rest of the album because you'll just be annoyed at us, honestly. Like you'll just be annoyed.
I'm looking at them on Wikipedia and it's like, how many people were actually in Chumbawamba? There's like
loads. Like it was one. Yeah, they were just a nice big band, a collective from Leeds who were just like fucking around, messing about, and like writing mad stuff.
I kind of love that though. I think that's such a nice thing. Like you don't really get that now, do you? Like I don't necessarily assume they would have gone out to even get the level of fame that they've got. They just happened to get it with the one non-political track that they've really done.
Yeah, and they genuinely seem to like not be asked about that. It's like, thanks for the money, like. And if you and they've done, I know they've done interviews where they'll be like, do you hate the success you got off the back of that? It's like, well, not really, no, because that just funded all of our other political endeavors.
Yeah,
like, we gave some to Unison, the union, and we gave some to like the miners' union and stuff like that. And like it got me a caravan where I can write my weird playback stories. Like,
and they're going to talk about it in a podcast in 2026. I am loving my fame.
Well, he was very because I contacted him basically because I was like, how do working class people do this? Because when you Google about like musical theatre writers, it's all like, after she graduated from Cambridge, her mother bought her a house in the country where she could write musicals. And I'm like, well, fuck that. I'm not going to be able to do that, am I? I've barely got a house at the Liverpool in myself. So how am I going to get that? And then it's I was like, is there any working class people who've written musicals? And it was like Lionel Bart who wrote Oliver and this guy. And I emailed him and he was like, that's quite funny. Just me and Lionel Bart. And he told me about going on like a musical theatre like conference thing in London, and it was like all these like rich people who'd come out of RADA and Lambda going, it's so difficult to find a choreographer, don't you find? And he was like, what if you just do it a cappella, one person, like minimal props, and you could then put it on in like the back room of a pub or something. Yeah. And he was like, you can imagine how they looked at me.
That sounds like every Jamie Lloyd Shakespeare adaptation though. It's just like everyone's going to be in a black t-shirt and it's going to be in a warehouse.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I know Jamie, like I hung out with Jamie Lloyd back in the day. And like that's exactly the kind of thing that he used to rant about. He was like, I haven't got the time to be building this and doing this. It's like, why don't we just do it over there? And you can be in it. Like he was very much like that when he was like 20, when he was training at Lipper. That's where I knew him from. And he was very much like that. He was like, there's too much faff going on. That's the problem. Too much messing about. And then you see it's like, he's so visionary. Like there's no props in this. There's only 3 characters and 12 words. And it's like, he just hates faff. He really genuinely hates faff. He hates costume people. He hates set dresses. He hates all that nonsense. He doesn't like working with people. It's kind of like, he also very much disliked actors as well, which is quite funny.
Why'd you get into this business?
I really wanted to go and see the one that not Tom Holland, what's the name? To Loki. Tom Hiddleston. He was in, I think it was The Tempest or something, I don't know. Oh, Midsummer's Night Dream or something, I don't know. It was one or the other.
one of them. One of
them ones.
It's a play with words, yeah.
The live movies, you know what I mean.
Do you just rock up to the box office of a theatre, Jed, and go, have you got any plays on with like words in it? Yeah, I'll have one.
Like a drug addict. What have you got on?
One,
Two
please.
tickets for Jim Davidson's Cinderella, please.
Or the closest thing you have to it.
Yeah.
Looking over the keyboard, it's spelled with an S.
Yeah.
Scratching himself.
In fairness, like the Northwich down the road from Frodsham, where I live, like last year, the pantomime was Kerry Katona and Katie Price. I was like, I need to go. Laura's like, there's no way we're going to that. It's like Harvey Price is on the last day. I can guarantee this. So I need to see them live. It's like, no, we're not going.
Kerry Katona was one of the guest stars at Liverpool Pride like 2 years ago, and that was a definite like. Well, I need to go and breathe in the same air as Kerry Katona. Good night.
I sold her an American fridge once.
Really?
Yeah. It's going to be the title of my my autobiography. She when I worked part time at Curry's, and she came in to try and buy it, and she was like at first that when she tried to do the credit on it and stuff, it was like no, and she was like, oh, try that one. And like going through the credit cards, going, try that one. I was like, this one's worked, and she's like, great. I was like, do you want the extended warranty? She's like, no. I don't want that.
No. Does it cost extra? No, I'm all right then.
Yeah, it's like $37.99 a month. She was like, no. or your royalty check from Hole again. Let's call it.
Wow.
Your PPL money from Hole again. She's like, nah, it's all right.
I sold the rights to that for Coke.
Yeah.
Oh,
don't. She's a big fan. She's a listener. We love you, Kerry.
Was a listener.
Was.
Sitting there going, I thought she was a lovely woman that sold me that fridge. Not even scary.